Hello everybody, my name is MC and I'm a strange alcoholic. Like it say in the thumbnail of this video and stuff, you know I'm gonna talk about basically how I've been delivered free from the matrix of alcohol and drugs. I have 21 years of recovery. My first day that I came into the rooms of recovery, really a treatment center, was September the 28th, 1998. And prior to that, I have found and found after being in 4 treatment centers, several returned back to alcohol and drugs, meaning going back to a former condition that I never put no due process or any type of work in. And with that, I was in the first program, and it was the ARC, and it was the Salvation Army in Pasadena. Prior to me being in that first program, I was just an alcoholic. Now, what happened for my life to even get to that situation? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Like we say in the rooms of recovery of alcohol and drugs, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, and Cocaine Anonymous. What it was like, you know, when I was growing up, I had 2 brothers, 2 sisters, plus me is 5. I'm the only one with a different last name than the other 4. So, you know, I always was like, you know, like, wow, I am the oldest brother. And all of a sudden, all these kids start popping up and stuff. But when it came to light, to when I started seeing life, what I saw was, I can remember the time of us, you know, going to the park, having on some boots and stuff, and going to church, or, you know, going to church and things like that. Growing up in the 70s as a 70s kid, mom and dad. That's my first stepdad, which his name is John, but his friends called him Snake Eyes, and then my mother and them girlfriends and stuff called him Jailbird. But that's a long story. Check this out. What has happened was that I started noticing that, you know, he used to have us at a pool hall somewhere on Adams and Normandy over there back in the day. It was like, you know, people shooting pool downstairs, and I can remember people shooting craps upstairs, and I can remember this guy named Charles he always had a thing on his neck. So, you know, and then at that time, I was only probably, what, 5, 6, 7 years old, and I'm being exposed to all types of stuff. Like you know, right at that age, I'm up there learning how to throw knives at trees. This is the days where, you know, the fathers, the uncle used to throw us some bullets with the football, and then this is the type of dad that bought me a Cincinnati Reds baseball complete uniform, Rams football uniform, and I used to go out there and I used to play football with the big kids right out there in the street, wearing my cleats and my football uniform and things. And I'm telling you, boy, there was something about that time that was making life seem like it was really, really worthwhile. But then I can remember other things. Those years and times when we didn't have a so well Christmas because it's just so many damn kids. And I'm up here trying to, making out this list to Santa Claus and stuff, and then the list I made was a long list. And I'm talking about when I made that list, whoo, I could have thought for sure I was gonna get everything that I asked Santa Claus for, and I mailed it to the South Pole. I don't even know if I put a zip code or anything on it, but I know when I mailed it, right? And then the day of Christmas came, right? And guess what? Some of that stuff wasn't up under the tree. See, so you know, being a little kid at that time, that made me feel kind of funny, but I still remember what was up under the tree or what kind of toys I had. I had Daisy BB guns where you can pump it and pump it and pump it and pump it, and I was shooting little birds and stuff, trying to be like the big kids. Getting these pigeons, putting them in the cage, wake up the next day, they dead and stuff like that. So, you know, and I can remember at that time, Mom and Dad and stuff used to have, like, you know, parties and stuff. And I mean, their friends used to bring gifts, and they used to bring presents. It was a birthday party. I can remember stuff being on the porch where, you know, you could smell this smoke in the air, but it did not smell like cigarettes. See, like I told you earlier, that this is the type of man that had friends that looked like people that was in those movies like Coffee Shaft and stuff like that. They had leather jackets, colorful leather jackets, real afros, sideburns, beards, mustaches, Chevys. His sister was a nurse. A whole lot of stuff was going on this corner, and we were just like, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old. People were pointing at us and saying, "Ooh, check out them kids. They wearing Fred Astaire's and stuff like that." And we had James Brown boots and things of all of that nature. But then I started seeing a whole lot of stuff. Those parties at night, and I can remember having my first drink. And I'm gonna tell you, it was the kind of drink that had the little whirl on it. And I found out later on that was Coors. What has happened is, like, I remember we used to wake up in the middle of the night while they having their party, and they say, get your head back in that room. Get that boy, come here and do the James Brown. I'll come in there and I'll do some James Brown and stuff, and then have a little broom. I do it. Here, come over here and get you a sip of this. And then y'all need to stop getting up and out of that bed, talking about y'all got to use the bathroom. So they gave me a sip, and I remember I did exactly what the big people did. I went, and I would like to say something happened. I don't know what happened, but it was something that was about to happen that was going to take on a spiral in the thing. So, you know, later on in life, you know, that situation to work out with mom and dad at that moment. So you got to remember, they separated, but we really wanted to stay with him, but that did not happen. So, you know, being on alcohol and them partying and things of that nature was like, I guess it took a toll, because this is the type of man that he had a real good job. We can remember him being in that city truck, and then things started happening each time he went on that corner. And then next thing you know, we seen him behind some glass windows somewhere on Broadway Street, North Broadway Street. And then we was like, when is you coming home? But we saw him behind the glass, and they wouldn't let him come on. Then it happened again. Then we saw him in the hallway when we came to visit him, and he vanished in the hallway, and he ended up on the other side of the window again. I say, but you were just out. Dude, you know, this is what I'm saying in my head. But you gotta remember, I'm only a kid. I'm only like 7 or 8 years old. We ain't knowing that he really in jail or something. Then he got out. Then the city job wasn't there no more. He was working at a chrome shop. Yeah, this is AKA Snake Eye. And then moms and them friends will call him like, oh, when is that jailbird coming home? So a few more things happened, because at that time we was little kids, and we always used to have these hard balloons to blow. We always had some kind of babysitters that would be like stealing from my mother or something. And later on down the line, what has happened is that situation with them broke up. That just give you a little bit of the behavior of how I was raised. I can remember getting a real bad whooping for beating up this girl at that time, and then that put something in me that really was reckless too. And later on in life, you know, Mom apologized about that. She didn't know that the girl was beating up everybody in the neighborhood. It was just, I was that little 2nd or 3rd grader saying, I ain't gonna play that. Because of what Dad and them taught us how to do, to fight, like step on somebody's feet and still tell them to knock something, do, you know, all kind of little things. But what has happened at that situation went away, and that father ended up later on down the line getting sober his own self. But that's another story within a story. So when we stayed with him for a while, and Mom took the girls, and then we came back, and right after that, some time that went by, and we were staying with Mom in 4th grade, and then in 5th grade, Mom met another man. And then this is the one that me and my brothers pretty much call our brother's father. But what has happened is that this man, he had a appliance store. He's the one that pretty much taught us how to work, hustle, and stuff like this. We used to sell pieces and things of that nature. But a lot of bad behaviors from the previous relationship. Mom having these babysitters that used to make me and my brothers and sisters play house in a real way, and used to walk us around and take us to school to go and visit other boys and stuff. Some of that behavior ended up later on down the line getting whooped up out of me and my brothers and stuff. So we used to get all kind of whooping with belts, extension cords, and stuff like this. But when Mom met this other man, things started slowing down. He started to show us some principles of how to work and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, I had this little shyness or inadequacy, and then I started developing some anger with Moms, because this man used to give us a $25 a week allowance. You know, the type of allowance where, you know, I felt real good, and then it was removed from me. Now, can you imagine something like that being removed from me? I mean, like, I said, dang, this is going to be the time where, you know, like, shoot, I feel like I can get this girlfriend and stuff. But what happened is that this father's son, because I didn't